In the Horn of Africa, whispers travel faster than wind. Two powerful publications, The Economist and Horn Review, released reports that shook Eritrea's leadership. Their words painted a chilling picture, hinting at plans that could fracture the nation. For the first time in years, Eritrea's government sounded worried, almost afraid. Their response accused Ethiopia of being behind it all, reigniting old shadows that never truly faded. Eritrea, once part of Ethiopia, has lived in its own world since 1993. It is a country frozen in time. One leader, one voice, one rule. President Isaias Afwerki, who led the struggle for independence, is now 80. For 3 decades, he has ruled without an election, a parliament, or a constitution in action. The question now haunting analysts: what happens when Isaias is gone? The BBC once said Eritrea's future without him is unpredictable, a word that now sounds like a prophecy. According to The Economist and Horn Review, Isaias may not leave the world quietly. They claim a storm is gathering, one that could push Eritrea into a new war before its old leader steps down. The tension, they say, centers on Assab, the Red Sea port Ethiopia has long desired. Eritrea has been fortifying itself, visiting bases, training soldiers, and issuing rare military decrees. Isaias appears to be preparing for his final act, not retirement, but resistance. The reports suggest that foreign powers and neighboring states are aligning for a post-Isaias era. To them, Eritrea's single-man rule looks like a relic of the Cold War, impossible to sustain in a region craving progress. Western governments, frustrated by Isaias's defiance, now see an opportunity. They whisper about regime change, perhaps through diplomacy, perhaps not. The Eritrean government, hearing this, feels the walls closing in. At the same time, Ethiopia's actions speak louder than its words. Abiy Ahmed's government, while publicly advocating dialogue, has intensified military readiness near the Red Sea. Satellite images and leaked intelligence point to new troop movements, air drills, and weapon deals. Though Abiy insists the port issue will be handled legally, his army trains as if preparing for something else. By the way, we dig deep before we speak, so you can trust what you hear. Stay smart, stay updated, and don't forget to hit subscribe. When The Economist published its analysis comparing Eritrea's vulnerability to Gaza, panic rippled through Asmara. The report claimed that Ethiopia's growing arsenal, especially 6 Russian-made Su-35 fighter jets, could flatten Asmara in hours. The Eritrean Ministry of Information called the report a lie, accusing Western media of psychological warfare. But the denial itself revealed unease. The fear was real. Those jets, according to a hacked document from Russia's defense giant Rostec, were part of a secret 2022 deal. Alongside Iran and Algeria, Ethiopia appeared on the list of Sukhoi buyers. The timing right after Russia's invasion of Ukraine raised eyebrows. Why was Ethiopia upgrading so fast, and for whom? To Eritrea. The answer seemed obvious. Modern jets pointed north. Eritrea's fear is not just military. It is historical. During the colonial era, the Horn of Africa's borders were drawn by foreign rulers who carved rivers, ports, and identities as they pleased. Italy took Eritrea. Britain, Sudan, France, Djibouti. Ethiopia alone remained independent, but even it lost the Red Sea coast after decades of conflict. The memory of division runs deep. Today, when analysts mention Eritrea splitting in two, it echoes those old colonial scars, still raw, still unresolved. In this moment, I'll ask you something. If a nation lives decades under one man's rule, does the end of that era bring freedom, or chaos? Comment below. I'd like to know your thoughts. Back to the present. The Western narrative paints Isaias as a dictator unwilling to change, a man whose power outlived his people's patience. But inside Eritrea, many still see him as a symbol of stability, a guardian who survived the odds. The truth, as always, lies somewhere between loyalty and fear. Eritrea has no parliament, no private media, no open dissent. Its prisons hold journalists who asked the wrong questions decades ago. Yet the government insists it is misunderstood. An island of discipline in a chaotic region. The Economist report accused Isaias of preparing his army, not only for defense, but also to crush internal rebellion. It warned that Eritrea's iron silence could shatter once he's gone. In response, Asmara said the magazine was part of a Western propaganda machine bent on dividing the country. They called it psychological warfare aimed at softening the mind of the nation before intervention. In the middle of this storm, Ethiopia's image has also shifted. Once hailed as Africa's rising power, it now walks a dangerous line between diplomacy and dominance. Its alliance with Russia and growing militarization have raised eyebrows in Washington and Brussels. Meanwhile, in the streets of Addis Ababa, many Ethiopians feel the Red Sea question is about survival, not aggression. But Eritreans hear it differently. To them, it's a reminder of the days when their land was someone else's ambition. The tension has become a mirror of history. Two nations once brothers, now staring each other down across a line that never healed. Behind them, foreign powers wait to benefit from either outcome. This is not just about ports or politics. It's about the soul of the Horn of Africa, who controls its waters, controls its fate. Eritrea's reaction to The Economist, its fiery rejection, may be seen as defiance, but deep down, it exposes fear. The fear of being cornered by both narrative and might. The fear of what comes after Isaias, because every leader's legacy, no matter how strong, faces the same test, time, and time is catching up. Every fact here is built on deep research, so if you value truth, hit subscribe and stay informed.